They do decrease hyperfiltration. As I said, if I had to give one analogy that explains it very simplistic, it would be like revving your engine in red line constantly and pushing pedal to the metal, like all the way down the accelerator, pushing it all the way down. What's gonna happen then? Your car's gonna rev in red line, so it's gonna have side effects. Your car uses fuel, gasoline. When you ignite it, what's gonna happen? It's gonna produce heat. Your engine is likely going to heat and malfunction, right? It might bend piston rods, break, head gasket, something might happen. As the same thing goes for your kidneys too. Hyperfiltrating and constantly having GFR in the reserve zone will eventually lead to kidney failure. Your kidneys have some GFR zone. When you, let's say, eat some protein, your kidneys acutely hyperfiltrate compared to their, let's say, resting state. And your kidneys act like a filter, right? When some pores of the filter get clogged, when you damage your nephrons, your glomerulars, they just lay down extracellular matrix, collagen, and they eventually die. So when some of the pores get clogged, the pressure per nephron is going to increase, right? You were, let's say, dividing 10 psi pressure per 10 filters. Now you got one of the filters, you have 9, and you have 10 psi pressure per 9 filters. So you get one higher pressure per nephron. So those nephrons are going to get bigger, and eventually this lead to kidney failure. It almost creates a vicious cycle, as I've said. When those nephrons, the pressure per nephron increases, the GFR per nephron is going to increase, right? Now, the remaining nephrons are going to hyperfiltrate even more, as if they are compensating. Yeah, they are compensating, basically. So they're gonna die earlier. So here is how glomerular hyperfiltration works. The hypertension for kidneys is damaging, we know that, but also less blood flow to kidneys also dangerous. It might create ischemic response. You might damage your kidney by decreasing the blood flow also. As you can see on the image on the very left, the higher one. Normally, the afferent arterioles, so you might think that the blood coming into glomerular, and the efferent arterioles, which is the blood coming out, when the angiotensin 2 levels gets higher, when the angiotensin 2 increases, it constricts the efferent arterioles, the blood coming out from glomerular. So now you increase the pressure in the nephrons. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna hyperfiltrate. And another interesting thing is, you might ask that why angiotensin 2 constricts only the efferent arteriole. The reason is there is more AT1 receptors on the efferent arteriole and less AT1 receptors in the efferent arteriole. So angiotensin 2 binds less to blood, the coming in part, and binds more the coming out part. We can address it via ACE inhibitors and ARBs. The ACE inhibitors, as you can see, ACE inhibitors can decrease the angiotensin 2 activity, and AT1 receptor blockers like ARBs can prevent the hyperfiltration, as you can see on the image on the lower screen. Your kidneys have functional reserve. When you hyperfiltrate long enough, they slope starts to decrease constantly, slowly over the course of, let's say, years of having uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension. And you lose, kidneys slowly starts to lose filtration function. Your urine is going to have more protein. You're going to have protein leaks. And the funny thing is, when you just look at the GFR, kidney function, without looking at your blood glucose, your blood insulin levels, your blood pressure, you probably won't notice that your kidneys, the kidney function is going to deteriorate, because it will seem like, let's say your normal GFR is 85 to 90. When it increases to 110, 120, it will seem like it's functioning well, but in the reality, it's just only functioning somewhat well for now. And look at the picture on the very bottom and right. And we know that reactive oxygen species can constrict the blood coming out. Okay. We also know that angiotensin 2 can constrict it. When we give angiotensin 2 receptor blockers to some people, to someone who has hypertension, their efferent arteriole is going to dilate, vasodilate, and blood can come out of there easily.